As soon as I spotted the car, my pulse quickened. Why were they here? Hadn't they all but shunned me last month? I hadn't seen any of them since our reunion, and now they were back. They must have driven past the graveyard where we buried Grandpa, because they never stopped at his grave. No, they were here for me. I watched through the window as they entered the cafe. There were 7 of them, 7 siblings, all looking like they'd been coached. This was a pack. I knew it in my gut, but why? What did they want? I'd given up on my art and closed my gallery doors a year ago. It felt good, it hurt, too. Their arrival was a crack in my solitude, and it shattered the tranquility I'd been cultivating. After a decade of shared trauma, I'd finally moved out. Freedom was sweet, even if it tasted like fear. As they slid into the booth opposite me, their smiles were tight, and I knew better than to trust those forced grins. The second eldest sibling opened the attack. "Are you happy now, Eden? Have you enjoyed being away from us?" His voice dripped with fake concern. Enjoying wasn't the word. Survival was closer. At least I had friends who loved me, who valued me for who I was. I knew what they wanted, my approval, my forgiveness. It was laughable. How could I forgive them for decades of abuse and manipulation when they still hadn't changed? "What do you want?" I asked, knowing their answer would be a lie. They'd come to fill their own voids, not mine. The eldest spoke next, and I hated how sweetly he used my name. "We missed you, Eden. We haven't had a proper meal together in years. Don't you miss us?" It was a lie. They'd called me twice in the last 5 years. Once when they needed money, and once for a family member's wedding. I refused to attend both times. But today they were pushing hard, and I could tell there was more at stake than patching things up. When my plate arrived, I pushed the food around. Nothing tasted good. My thoughts raced. Why were they really here? Was there a hidden agenda? The third eldest sibling reached out. "Are you still angry with us?" I looked up, meeting her gaze. "No, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. After 32 years, I'm disappointed." She recoiled as if I'd slapped her. The youngest began speaking, and his voice betrayed him. He was nervous. "Can you forgive us? Please, Eden. We want to be a family again. Forgive." I wanted to laugh. Why? So I can be manipulated and abused again. Their faces fell. I continued, "So I can be the scapegoat when you need someone to blame. Why should I forgive you? You never deserved my forgiveness." Silence hung heavy in the air, thick with discomfort. I met the eldest brother's eyes. "If you're here to ask for forgiveness, you won't get it. We're not asking for forgiveness, we're asking for another chance." The second eldest took over. "We want you to join us, to reconnect, to be a family once more." I laughed, a harsh, humorless sound. That sounds like extortion. Why should I accept it? It's not like we were close to begin with, because we're family, Eden. You can't replace the bond we share. That was a lie. Blood didn't tie us together. Hate did, but I sensed their desperation and I toyed with it. Maybe they didn't realize how toxic they were. Maybe if I laid it out, they'd see the truth. You want a family. Here's what you do. Let's start over. You apologize for everything. Apologize for neglecting me, for abusing me, for making me feel unwanted. The eldest sibling choked out a laugh. Eden, we've endured a lot, but we've always loved you. Love, how many times had I heard that lie? Their love was conditional. They only gave love to get something in return. I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor. If you truly loved me, you would have protected me. Instead, you chose to ignore it. You didn't protect me from bullies or predators. You left me in a broken home while you lived your lives. You never asked if I needed anything. All I ever heard was, Eden, you're being selfish. Shut up. You're embarrassing us. You never listened. You never cared. Your actions scream louder than any apology. In this family, blood isn't thicker than water. Water is essential for life, but blood can spill and stain. The only family I want is one based on respect, kindness, and love, none of which I found here. I threw a handful of bills on the table, walked out without another word. I should have known better than to entertain them, but for a moment I'd dared to hope that they'd changed. Behind me, I heard the eldest sibling's voice laced with anger. She's insane. We should cut her off. She's dangerous. A loud crash followed a vase or a plate, and then footsteps rushing away. I didn't care about the dishes. I was done with them. I walked away from the cafe, from the past. 3 days later, a large package sat on my doorstep. It was heavy. What could it be? As I struggled to move it, I thought maybe it was a gift from my gallery owner for supporting the new artist. But no, it was from my family. Curiosity got the better of me, and I ripped open the package. Inside, nestled in shredded paper, was a framed photograph. It showed me standing proudly in front of my art gallery, a wide smile on my face. Next to it was a note. For the sister who broke our family, signed the 6. Underneath, the signature blots of color mocked me. My whole family had signed it. Even my little brother. How could they hate me when I'd done nothing wrong? It wasn't me who destroyed the family dynamic. It was them, their lies, their betrayals, their selfishness. I ripped the picture frame off the wall for the sister who broke our family. Signed the 6. I wasn't the one who ruined the family. I was the one who survived it, and I was healing. And as I stared at the wreckage of my family, I realized that maybe it was time for me to finally let go. I was done trying to fit a round peg in a square hole. I was done chasing shadows in the dark. I was done with the lies. And I was done with them. My recovery began with acceptance. I accepted that I couldn't change them. It was their choice to remain stagnant. I accepted the pain of the past. It wouldn't erase the scars, but it would empower me to heal. And I accepted myself. I had value. I was enough. And I deserved more than their hollow apologies. 2 weeks after they visited, I received an email from my eldest brother, Eden. We miss you. We understand that you're angry, but it's been a year since you left. Can't we move forward? That same old manipulative tactic, playing the victim. They never apologized, and now they were bringing up a lie again. It's been a year since you left. Since you left what? Our annual family therapy session. Since you left me with bruises. Since you left me in that abusive environment. Since you abandoned me. The deceit ran deep. They didn't miss me. They missed the Eden they'd controlled. They wanted the old me back. The quiet, obedient girl who put everyone else's needs before her own. My response was simple. You don't miss me. You miss the daughter you molded. And I'm not that girl anymore. It was the truth. I'd spent 32 years accommodating their needs, enduring their emotional abuse. Enough was enough. I was done being their doormat. I was done accepting their hypocrisy. I was done tolerating their gaslighting. One day, I stumbled upon an article titled "Toxic Family Members Are Like Emotional Vampires." I felt a rush of vindication. I'd known for a long time that they were toxic. The article described how these family members feed off your energy, draining you emotionally. They create a tangled web of lies and deceit that leaves you exhausted and confused. Sound familiar? But the article offered a solution, distancing oneself from these vampires. I decided to vanish completely. I deleted social media accounts, changed my number, blocked their emails. It was terrifying, but also liberating. It was like shedding a skin that no longer fit. The silence was deafening. Where once there was chaos, now there was calm. In the stillness, I found strength. I focused on my art, poured my soul onto canvases. The colors, the textures, the shapes became my therapy. And as the months passed, I felt a sense of closure. I understood that my journey to healing wasn't about them, it was about me. I was creating my own narrative, one brushstroke at a time. The guilt lifted, the anxiety eased. I was becoming whole. It hadn't been easy, but I was proud of who I was becoming. I was kinder to myself, more forgiving. I was stronger, more resilient. I was braver, more authentic. And I knew that no matter what the future held, I was ready. I was free.